play this game, how my people show me.
Life is what we make it. Yeah. Life is what we make it. Ooh, yeah. Life is what we make it.
It's hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Tribute Tuesday. Boyz in the Hood soundtrack. A little Ice Cube mixed in there. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. I'm going to have my man Brandon Peters on the show. Probably the biggest Golden State fan that I know. He's actually from Oakland, California, from the Bay Area. And so I'm going to have my man BP on a little bit later in today's show. As a matter of fact, in about 15 minutes, we'll get him on. He's kind of like an independent writer, excuse me, sports, hip-hop writer nationally. And so I want to get his thoughts on his team winning his second championship in 3 years. And does he see this dominance going anywhere anytime soon? So stay tuned for that. The bottom of the hour, we got a little entertainment report for you. Speaking of Ice Cube, as we're honoring, paying tribute to him and to the Boyz in the Hood soundtrack, the movie in which he starred in, Ice Cube has been honored. We'll get to that. And the richest celebrities out there in Hollywood, so says Forbes magazine at the bottom of the hour. The third hour of the show, we call it the Power Hour, where I really focus on the Stewie's chat and phone calls and all of that stuff. Speaking of which, you can call the show at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I'm looking at this Cleveland team and the players in which they play. One thing that's always been kind of like an issue is Kyrie Irving being, labeled as a point guard. Kyrie Irving is not a point guard. I'm just trying to look at what they can do to just switch this thing up. And LeBron really brings the ball up a lot of times, gets the teams into their offense and into their sets or whatever. He's the floor general, as I mentioned earlier. Wonder if they ever thought about just scrapping the whole point guard title for Kyrie Irving. Because the only reason they call him a point guard is because he's small, he's short. But Kyrie Irving, just like Allen Iverson, probably the closest thing to Allen Iverson I've seen is Kyrie Irving. And they used to do the same thing with AI. A lot of times they all have AI listed as a point guard. No, they really, that was early in his career. Like after a couple of years, you had Percy Snow, little brother, playing point guard. You had a couple of the little guys that used to play the point guard position for the Philadelphia 76ers. But for the most part, man, the reason why you call Kyrie and AI point guards is because they're short. And that's traditionally what point guards look like. I remember when A-Rod came into the league, we always have these visions of sports of how a player's supposed to look size-wise. And I remember when A-Rod came into the league, before A-Rod came to the league, and maybe, I'm trying to think, what position did, you could probably go back to Cal Ripken too. So Cal Ripken Jr. was like a bigger shortstop, but shortstops used to be smaller. And then so Ripken, and then you had Alex Rodriguez coming to baseball, and they kind of changed that whole mindset. And for the most part, your shooting guard, your two guard is somebody 6'4", Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan size, 6'5", and they score. And so because Kyrie and AI were short, they call them point guards. Maybe they should, I'm trying to fix this thing in Cleveland. Maybe they should just go ahead and say, LeBron, you could be the point guard. Because that's pretty much what he is. He runs the damn team. LeBron, you play the point. We're going to move Kyrie to the 2. J.R. Smith, you up to the 3. And then we'll leave Kevin Love at the 4 and Tristan Thompson at the 5. And let LeBron get a whole season as playing point guard, being the true point guard of that team. And let Kyrie be free-flowing and, be able to create his own shot. Do pretty much everything that they do right now. But I guess the point is, maybe they give the point guard role in earnest to LeBron. okay? And let Kyrie just go out there and not really have to worry about setting everybody else up. He's a hired assassin. He goes out there and scores just as he's been doing, but their roles are just redefined a little bit, man. They got to get a better center, man. And even though they gave Tristan Thompson a new deal, that's not going to happen, I guess. But Tristan Thompson got to get up off his ass, and he got to play better. And they got to do something about this bench. The Kyle Korver experiment, man, for the most part, didn't work. Kyle Korver's past his prime. I don't know, maybe it was a chemistry thing or whatnot, but that didn't work. Amon Shumpert, man, damn, he's stealing money right now. You might as well give him a damn mask. Richard Jefferson, old as Methuselah. Darren Williams, old, lost 2, 3, 4 steps. I don't know, man. They got a lot of decisions they got to make going forward into next year. Because, listen, and it's crazy because they dominated the playoffs. That'll tell you how weak the Eastern Conference is. They dominated the playoffs, but I don't think that Cleveland team would have beat I don't think clearly they wouldn't beat Golden State, but I would say it's a coin toss on if they were healthy, if that Cleveland team would have beat San Antonio this year. I really do believe that. Houston, even though they fizzled out in the playoffs in their game 7 in the playoffs, like I don't know if that Cleveland team would beat Houston this year in a 7-game series. So they got some things they got to address. From Fel Pay in the chat on Spreaker.com, he says, got to be easier playing the game of basketball knowing you can't be doubled due to the other 3 All-Stars Golden State has on their team. Yeah, KD's numbers were great, but the dude was going square up with one guy the entire time. KD is a top 3 player in the league. You put one guy on him the entire game, and of course KD is going to get whatever he wants. That's a very good point, sir. That's a very good point. Even when you look back at the greatest teams, you look back at Michael Jordan, even they had Scottie Pippen. They did. Teams still doubled Scottie. Teams still double LeBron James. If you're Kevin Durant on this team, you can't double anybody. And as much as Klay Thompson's game fell off this year, in large part to them picking up Kevin Durant, because I've said it many times, they're the same damn player as far as what they do on the floor. You can't double somebody and expect Klay Thompson not to get, on fire and hit threes. You can't expect for Steph Curry to be by himself or be guarded by one person, he not beat that man off the dribble and not hit three-pointers. So you're in a quandary when you play these cats, man. They got too much. Too much. From Grego, Golden State Warriors brings joy to all. Whatever. He says, make no sense, Big L. Makes plenty of sense to me. It's the Patriots' way. Sidney Jackson, right, fell. Preach. Novice basketball fans can't see that because they are only used to seeing highlights on ESPN. From Sluggo X Squad, I'm fairly certain that $1, sir, that's $1, sir, $1. Damn. So it is $1. I always get confused when I start talking about that. And I haven't gambled. I haven't gambled in a long, long time to that degree. Yeah. So you put down 1,000 or you put down $1 and you get 1,000 back. You put down $10 and you get 1,000 back. Imagine how bad or how little your chances are of making it and winning the NBA Finals if Vegas is saying, you just give us $1. And if your team wins, we'll give you back 1,000. That shit ain't going to happen. From, let's see who we got here. Cool Cell, LD, this is KD Day. Show respect, sir. Blow the whistle on your hating. Whatever. Anybody that gives a different opinion on whatever you feel is a hater. Y'all a damn bunch of haters. Clay watched the throne. Davis ducking. I hope Doug watches this 30 for 30 tonight. Maybe he'll remember the Lakers and Celtics had super teams in the 80s. I addressed the whole super team thing earlier. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. From Montana Jones, KD made the correct move. Can't blame the bruh, but he is nowhere near the player LeBron is. Ooh. I mean, nowhere seems kind of extreme. I would say that LeBron's a better basketball player than him right now. Overall, if you're trying to start a basketball team, the best basketball player, the guy that you pick right now, is still LeBron James. Despite what Russell Westbrook did this year, despite what James Harden did this year, despite what KD did this year. KD is right there. I just think that when you factor in LeBron, the wear and tear on his body, how long he's been in the league, I think that you had the ceremonial passing of the torch. I do. I think that you're going to see more great years for KD in the upcoming years. And as it stands right now, I think you're going to see less and less of the dynamic player that we've seen in LeBron James this year. And the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, they're going in two different directions. They're going, like, this is symbolic because I think Cleveland starts to fall off slowly, gradually. And I think Golden State and Kevin Durant progresses forward. I mean, that's not a hard thing. That's not, a smart thing or whatever. From Montana Jones, did Doug compare Trent Green to KD? Laugh out loud? No, I did not do that. Angry Black Man, he says, rule wouldn't have mattered, Doug. KD took less money to go to Golden State. Will he take $50 million less money to do that? And if you do something like that, I mean, that's on you. If you take $50 million less in guaranteed money, you're from a different planet than me. I don't give a damn. At the end of the day, it is a job. At the end of the day, if so-and-so team X wants to pay me $50+ million more or can pay me $50+ million more, I'm taking it. I mean, why wouldn't anybody take that? So I guess at the end of the day, yeah, these guys can go to a different team if they want to, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, but they're going to be in a real quandary. I mean, you talk about a decision. From Grego, Golden State Warriors brings joy to all. He says, why was LeBron talking to KD so much last night? They've been going back and forth over the last couple of games, but they congratulated each other at the very end. Healthy respect. Those guys, they've never played together in an all-star game. So KD's always been in the West and LeBron's always been in the East. So they've never played together, but I'm sure, just like a lot of these players today, they're much more friendly with each other off the court. So they probably kick it in the offseason as well. From Clay Washington, David Sidney, I had no problem with what LeBron did. These players are tired of these organizations making money and not improving the roster. That whole conversation, that narrative is a fallacy. Year in and year out, the Cleveland Cavaliers tried to improve that team around LeBron James. Did it always work? Did the players that came there, did it always work? No. That whole conversation about LeBron wasn't able to attract free agents to come to Cleveland, you've seen that's a lie over the last couple of years. Guys have personally gone out of their way to come and play with LeBron James in Cleveland. Oh, nobody wants to come and live in Cleveland. That's a lie. Stop it. Stop it. Same thing with Kevin Durant when he was in OKC. Hell, I got to keep saying it. They were one game away from winning the championship, and they blew it. It was nothing about the team that he had around them. They were one game away from going to the championship, not winning it. They were one game away from beating Golden State and going to the NBA championship, in which they would have been favored as well. If OKC would have went to the finals last year, they would have been the favorite over Cleveland after just beating Golden State. They would have been the favorite. And I'm sure we can go and find that through the records in Las Vegas and the odds and whatever. But they would have been favored. So stop it about teams not being able, organizations not able to make the teams around them better. Year in and year out, Cleveland tried to bring in good players around LeBron James. They did. Stop that. Stop having revisionist history. From Grego, he says Paul George wants to go home. Could also mean he wants to go to Golden State. Laugh out loud. Don't say that. Don't say that, bruh. Don't say that. No way possible. Paul George goes and joins the Golden State Warriors. I think Paul George got more pride than that. I don't think that he would do that. I don't get that feel from him. I didn't get the feel from KD that he would do that. That's one thing I loved about Kevin Durant was his competitive spirit that he seemed like he had, man, and that he used to go at cats hard. Like, he didn't scared. He was, aggressive, and, he thought that his game was just as good as any of these other top, players in the game when you're talking about LeBron James or whatever, or Dwayne Wade and those guys. And then he just pissed it all away and went and played for the damn enemy. was weak. From Wody, 504, False G Money. I'm a Laker fan, and I was hoping the Cavs won. From Big LX Squad, Wody, CP3 can play